And are you refreshed? Good. Now what?
Very new to this, about 2 months. Third workshop, did all your California workshops so far. And I manifested a beautiful red car. Haven't had a car in 3.5 years. And I was scared to do it the night before, and I was reading one of your books, and I landed on a paragraph that said, "You say you want the red car, but you're afraid of the red car." And I wanted a red car. They were trying to get me into a blue one, and I wanted a red one. And they got it the next day, and I said, if it's meant to be, make it easy. And it showed up. And it's my vortex, my moving vortex. Thank you.
We like the story. We just want to add one little piece of clarification. If you want it to be, it's meant to be, because you create your own reality. So don't put it off on somebody else. If you want it to be, and if it isn't easy, it's because you're not letting it be easy. If it's meant to be, make it easy. Think about another way of saying that. Since whatever I want I can have, how can I make this easy on myself? And the answer to that is always believe it. But see how helpful the universe is to just keep coaxing you along in your belief? Isn't that a nice thing?
What's difficult for me in what you're saying is I come from a 12-step program that led me to believe that if it's not easy, let it go. Surrender it. And so if you're fighting against something...
But what is different in what we are saying to you? We're saying let go of your resistance. And in the absence of resistance, there is ease. And then what you want does come easily.
I must have a belief that what I want, I can't necessarily have. I don't know.
Well, we think it's a good thing that you were saying, let it come easily. You're asking for ease. You want to give up struggle. But we want you to know that in the first segment of this day, we made a very strong case for the advantage of just giving up the struggle. There's just no reason for it. It's self-imposed every time, and it's you working against you. And once you get that, then things do get easier. One more thing, you've inspired us to say this. This is a really good thing. You're going to like this. So we talk a lot about the path of least resistance, and what we mean is your inner being knows where you stand in terms of manifestation and emotion, vibration, in relationship to everything you want, meaning everything that's in your vortex. Your inner being knows where you are in relationship to all of it, and your inner being knows the path of least resistance. So what that means is your inner being, in its complete absolute love for you, takes into consideration every belief that you have that is in your way and still leads you around those beliefs to what you want. Don't you like knowing that? Your inner being isn't saying clean it up and then we'll talk. Your inner being is saying you are where you are, what you want is what you want, and with all of this in consideration, this is the path of least resistance. This is your path of least resistance or most allowance around your resistance, which is just fine. Feel that. So that means the more you can trust that your inner being knows where you want to be, and trust that your inner being knows where you are and isn't mad at you, and trust that your inner being knows where you are and isn't holding it against you, and so therefore isn't making it more difficult, that 100% of the time your inner being is making it as easy as you will let it be. But your inner being cannot believe for you. Your inner being can only know what your inner being knows, and in time you can show yourself that you know it too.
Okay, so this is a perfect segue to the question that since San Diego I've been wanting to ask. I'd like some clarity on my business. I have a business I've been working on for 3.5 years, and as much as I've enjoyed and really loved so many pieces of it, it's a dog treat business, but I love the photo shoots and the Instagram and all the pieces of it. The needle on the sales won't move. $500,000 has been put into this business, and the needle on the bags won't move. And I'm having a Kickstarter next month, which is my last idea to save this business that means so much to me, but I don't understand why I'm learning and I'm enjoying and I'm growing.
But you see, you're not only doing that, you're doing both. You love this and you don't love that. You said some really powerful things to us about beliefs. Your belief is that the needle won't move. You're a wise woman. The reason that you believe it is because you're watching it. You're not making it up. You're watching it, and therefore you believe it, and therefore you can't get past it. And it's a lot to ask somebody to not believe what is. We're not saying don't believe it, because it is. We're not saying don't believe it because the accountants will back it up with their figures. We're not saying don't believe it. We're saying don't give your attention to beliefs that hurt you when you give your attention to beliefs that hurt you. Don't give your attention to beliefs that hurt you when you give your attention to beliefs that hurt you. We're saying don't give your attention to beliefs that hurt you. We're saying there's no value in giving your attention to a belief that hurts you. We're saying there's no value in giving your attention to something that is true that you don't want. Because every time you give your attention to something that's true that you don't want, you practice the vibration of it and you don't let it be easy. And then the needle won't move. The needle won't move because your beliefs don't move. And your beliefs don't move because you keep looking at what is. What is keeps holding you right where you are because you've got your attention upon right where you are, because that's what humans do. You face reality. But you are a new breed of humans. Maybe you don't want to face as much reality as you want to create a new reality. So we're not saying don't believe it. We're just saying don't keep that belief active. Replace that belief that hurts you with other beliefs that don't hurt you. Like these dog treats are really, really good. And like this is really, really fun. And like I'm really, really good at so many aspects of this. And like this was a really big dream. And this is a really right time for it, because never before in all of the universe has there been a time when more people were more in love with more dogs. There's just never been a better time for that. Those beliefs are also factual and true, and they don't hurt when you focus upon them. They don't feel bad to you because they don't get you cross current of you see.
Honest to God, they are my beliefs. It is the best dog treat in the entire world.
We know that.
And it's also the most expensive one. And I feel, but isn't it possible that that it's just not a great business idea? Isn't it possible that I'm barking up the wrong tree?
Well, you're not going to get us to ever admit that you can't have everything that you want. These are the things that aren't possible. It's not possible for an idea to be so wrong that it can't come about. It's possible that you hold beliefs that are in your way. Esther had an interesting experience. She has a new house in San Antonio. And everything about it's wonderful, or most everything. But one thing that was a little stumbling thing is when they went to turn the fire feature on the pool, it made a howling sound in the house. And the man looked at her like, "Can you live with that?" And she looked at him like, "Are you an idiot?" She didn't say anything like that. She smiled as she thought really bad things. And so then she said, "Well, let's turn the fire feature off. Let's just turn the pool heater on." Still howled. So not only does the fire feature make it howl, but the water being warm makes it howl too. So after some conversation with a lot of people, the utility company and the plumbers that installed the gas line and the builders who are the main contractors and the owner of the company that built the house, it was concluded that the remedy is to put in a new gas line, which requires disassembling the house to some degree. So Esther was not really very happy about that idea, but understood. And so as they talked, they figured out how they can go up through the garage and make a big hole in the ceiling of the garage. And that's all right with Esther because it's in the garage and they'll fix it. You'll never know. And then go through the attic, which is all right because she doesn't live up there hardly at all. And then they'll come down the outside of the house and make a big mess on the outside of the house, but then they'll put it back and you'll never know. So the disruption to Esther is not going to be that great. This is the path of least resistance for their screw up. So as Esther got thinking about it, she got very philosophical about it and very Abrahamish about it. And she thought, my house and its things, my water heaters and my range and my fireplaces and my fire feature and my pool and its heater are asking for more than the supply can give. I have more desire than belief. The fact that that pool, that house was asking for more than that system could provide. Esther doesn't take anything that happens in her life experience as just a funny fluke. She owns it all. She knows that something about that is information for her. I've got a bigger desire than I have a supply. Oh, where have I heard that before? As she thought back about all the conversations about open your valve, open your valve, open your valve, and let the energy that creates worlds flow through. So there's nothing wrong with coming to an awareness that you have a desire that is one thing and a belief that is another. Life's going to constantly promote a new desire within you that you're not up to speed with in the beginning. That's always going to be the way that it is. But when you give up or try, you can't do it. What you said is it possible that I should let this desire go? No, that's never the answer. Get more gas. Get more gas. Do whatever it takes to get bigger pipes. Do whatever it takes to get a bigger belief. Do whatever it takes to improve the flow. Because hear what the other alternative is. The other alternative is such shortage consciousness that it cannot abide in your vibration. Such shortage consciousness that, is it possible that I'm wanting more than the universe is willing to provide for me? No, never. That's why you were born into this physical experience, to ask for more and more and more and more and more. You are out here on the leading edge to ask of the universe, to demand of the universe, to expect of the universe that it can deliver as much fuel as is needed for the desires that this time-space reality can produce in you. You see? So the answer is never, ever, 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 ever say, oh, never mind, just cap off the fire feature, I don't mind. I can bathe in a hot tub and I hardly ever get in the pool anyway. And hot pool makes steam sometimes and that's not pleasant. And I don't want to create my own cloud atmosphere out there. So anything that doesn't work, just cap it off and let's call it a day. No! Make every single thing work. Make it all work. Make it all work. Make it all work and make it all work the way you want it to be. Because the universe has the power to give it to you. Why would you settle for less? And do you know what? You're the only one who's got your hands on the valve. It's only you. It's only you. So it's only your bogus thoughts about your business that are making you not let the needle move. That's all. Don't give the credit or the power to anybody else. And the best thing is when something doesn't go right, you know what it does? Makes you want it to go right more. Esther has never ever thought so much about gas in her house, in her life. It never even occurred to her that this was a thing. It's making her wonder what other fire features she might want. Because now she has high pressure line into her house and a mega meter from the street. They brought her the biggest gas meter that's ever been installed in a neighborhood. And so she's thinking, oh, gas to spare. What might I light? Maybe I'll light up the sky. There are no limits. And so don't be hard on yourself. We are not being hard on yourself that you've got some beliefs that are in the way. A strong enough desire will blast beliefs that are in the way out of the way. But that wasn't what your tendency was just now. You were leaning in the direction of trying to do the impossible, which is give up on your desire. Never do that. And nearly every mega business had stumbling blocks in the beginning, which focused the desire stronger and stronger. Limp desire doesn't make mega businesses. Strong desire does.